Hello friends, hope you are well. TechManPat here. Today we're looking at this, the GT3 from Huawei, a wearable watch. And you may be wondering, Patrick, this watch is very beautiful and it is rather feminine because it is Mother's Day on Sunday. Hopefully this video goes out today on Friday. We're gonna talk about a gift that I think is perfect for the lovely lady in your life. Both your wife, could be a mother, or your own mum. This is a fantastic looking watch. Let's have a talk about what it can do, why it looks so nice, and the features that it comes with that is perfect for a lot of people who are into their exercise and both fashion. Big thanks to Huawei for sending me this watch for review. Let's get started by rolling the intro. The Huawei GT3 is a beautiful watch. This is the 42mm version. It is the much smaller one, and actually it kind of doesn't really even fit on my wrist. Luckily though, I got to review the GT3 Runner, which is exactly the same watch, obviously bigger, and so I got to understand what the features of the watch are. So first of all, the GT3 42mm has a couple of differences from the GT3 Runner, and that is the battery life. This has a 7-day battery life as opposed to the 14-day battery life of the bigger version of this, the 46mm version. So you're getting half the battery life. Obviously it's in a small package, but apart from that, you get a beautiful AMOLED screen. It is round, and the screen is kind of rounded on the corners. It fits beautifully into the actual seams of the outside. It has two buttons, one on the outside and a little spinny wheel on the other, which also doubles as a button itself. You have a beautiful gold looking strap here, and this one's really interesting. It's got a magnet at the bottom and you can tighten it and then it just connects like so, and it's really strong. Like, you can't just pull it off, and it doesn't actually come apart. It does stay as a full circle. The inbuilt sensors are fantastic. They track your heart rate and your steps and a whole bunch of other things like your oxygen levels. It's a really good way to count steps, and this is only 32.5 grams, which means it's extremely light on your wrist. So yes, even though the strap is one of those fashionable straps, you can go for a run with this. Of course, the straps are interchangeable, so if you want to swap it out for a rubber one, or what you would call a sports loop, then off you go. You can do it yourself, and it can take any of the standard size straps that you can find at most shops or even online, and of course Huawei sells them there too. So a couple highlights for me is this AMOLED screen. It is absolutely gorgeous. AMOLED means that it has very high contrast to the point where blacks are basically turned off in regards to the pixels themselves, because they don't light up, which allows this watch to have a fantastic battery life as opposed to something like an Apple Watch, which has maybe 1 or 2 days. This has 7 days in this form factor, and the bigger one has double that. Now, during heavy use, this gets around 4 days, and what I mean by heavy use is constant exercise, running things, playing around with it, and as opposed to just checking the time and checking messages. You can take phone calls on this, which obviously drains the battery, but the microphone and the speaker built in is fantastic. Really impressive for such a small package. And of course, because of its styling, it is probably one of the better looking wearable watches. It's very minimalistic. There's no random dots around the outside, too many shapes, too many cutouts to make it look overly technological, as opposed this one is very, very slim. This is a perfect gift for somebody who likes fashionable things like fashionable watches, but also wants to dabble inside the wearables, you know, the digital technology that connects your phone to your watch and of course your wrist. This has built-in GPS, so of course you can know where you're running around. If you don't have your phone, it'll come back and connect to the Huawei app, and of course the app is a third-party app, so if you're on Android, not a problem. Apple, of course, third-party app, people complain about it all the time, but Huawei has built a really good app that asks for permission for every single time it wants to use your data. Obviously you can allow it and it doesn't come back to you, but once you do select it, it'll be used, and of course you can deny it if you wish not to share specific data. The watch syncs really quickly, and of course the puck that charges it is magnetic, so it sticks on there really, really well. Now, I wouldn't have had a chance to check out this watch because it is a smaller face, and I always just prefer a bigger watch on my wrist. But holding it in my hand, it can see the allure of a smaller watch that's not too bulky. And when I showed this to my wife and she put it on, she absolutely loved the size and specifically the weight. So there is a product fit for a lot of people with obviously smaller arms, but obviously this one particularly in here, the design is very, very cool and very fashionable. I guess I cannot say more enough about that. And the reason I'm checking it out is also that Huawei is having a massive sale on their Amazon store. Links below for that, which means that this watch, which retails around $500, is $399 right now. So what do you get for $399? A very beautiful screen with fantastic color and contrast reproduction, and of course that 7-day battery life. A very fashionable band. And to be honest, if you go to a shop for $399, like let's say Maya or David Jones, $399, you can't get a watch that looks this good. Maybe you can, but it'll just be a plain watch. So you get a very smart watch with that in mind. So $399, is this actually worth it? Well, comparing it to other watches that are fashionable. I keep using that word, but I really, really do mean it. You know, fancy watches that look good and just supposed to be there for the look. Well, you get that plus the smarts that are built in. Messaging, notifications, exercise tracking, step tracking, and of course you get to change your watch face depending on your mood, which is really, really cool. The build quality is the final thing I want to touch upon. This is a really solid watch, and that strap is really good quality because at the end of the day, Huawei doesn't have to remake these straps. They can get high quality straps from suppliers. The watch in itself is very solid around, and you can see that there's just no bits that can break off. It does have the ability to go underwater for 50 meters, and that does mean you can take it swimming and you don't have to take it off, which is fantastic for those pool parties during the summer. So final thoughts, this is a fantastic gift for Mother's Day, and of course it's actually a really good gift in general. I had a bit of a talk with my wife and I said, would this be a really good gift for you? And she goes, yeah, it looks so much better than the Apple Watch. And it certainly does. It is still the exact same smarts inside as opposed to the, obviously, Apple ecosystem. But from a looks point of view, this is fantastic. So friends, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think. Links below for the Amazon Mother's Day sale at Huawei. And big thanks to Huawei for sending me this watch for an overview and, of course, review. Thanks for watching. Catch you all in another one. Bye!